Hello YouTube, back at it again with another video. So I bet you're probably wondering, why am I playing Roblox? So this is a game me and my friends, we play all the time. We have a little series and we do probably 10 races a season and we've done 5 so far and we do like points for each race and it's not like the best game. It's laggy, it's glitchy as you can see. Um, it's very chaotic. And that's what makes it fun, dude. It's a great game with just, wabi sabi, as Bobby Hill would say. It's not perfect, but it's the imperfections that make it so fun and chaotic. It causes so many arguments, it causes just complete chaos all the time. And that's just what makes it entertaining, dude. We love the chaos and arguments. Like we just talk so much crap with each other in a friendly way, not nothing like that. But it's a great game, and I eventually want to start doing series on here where I get my subscribers and people who just want to join to hop on and do some series. We'll do, only 10 people can stay in the lobby at once, so we'll do something like heats and stuff. We'll have Group A, Group B, and top 5 in each group. After those 10 races, we'll be in the final heat for the championship series, and I think that'll be pretty fun to do. Uh, I also want to do this with iRacing once I get more people who subscribe and have iRacing. And I eventually want to do NASCAR 25 on PC and just run some seasons on there too. We'll do prizes and rewards and stuff like that. I linked the Instagram to the FASTCAR Cup Series. As you can see that FASTCAR Cup Series logo in my banner on my YouTube channel. But I'll link the Instagram page to that below. And that's where we can for now, if y'all want to join, just message there. But that being said, let's get into today's video where we'll talk about the Daytona 500, and I hope we can eventually race a Daytona on here so y'all can see, the Daytona 500 on here. But Kyle Busch and Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe, get those top 2 spots. And after a few years of struggling since switching over from Toyota to Chevrolet, Kyle Busch gets that pole position. Chase Briscoe, great season last year, making it to the championship race. Kyle Busch can't say the same with these past few years. He hasn't won a race in a while. And just seeing him get up front in that Toyota RCR just says something great about his perseverance through these times. And does this mean RCR is back? Maybe, maybe not. But Kyle Busch might be back. Hopefully, we. I don't think he's going to win the race. I think he's going to have a good finish. But do I think he's fully back to the old Kyle Busch? Do I think he's actually going to get his first Daytona 500 win? Sadly, I do not think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get it. And I will talk about my predictions on where I think he will finish and who I think will win here later on. But with that being said, we're going to talk about these people who just qualified for the Daytona 500 through the qualification. We've had 2 people lock their spots in already, and that is Justin Allgaier and Corey Heim. Justin Allgaier, he was with JR Motorsports. This is great for Dale Jr. I know he's been stressing a lot. He talked about it on his podcast, trying to get into the 500 and just succeed, and qualifying on the first qualification without having to go to the last chance qualification at the duels. And we'll talk about how that works here in a minute. So, Justin Allgaier, he's a Xfinity champion, which is now the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series championship. But he won that a couple of years ago. Jesse Love won last year. But he's a great racer, dude. I don't think he's gonna have a great performance. These these guys who get in on qualifications, they're just guys just to be there to fill up the field for a big race. And it's great to see. But I don't think he's going to be one of those guys who finish in the top 20, top 10. Maybe he can get a top 20, top 15, but it's just unpredictable. So we'll really see what happens there. I think my guy's on AFK, but yeah. But anyways, Corey Heim, the former Truck Series champion, who is running part-time truck, part-time Xfinity, O'Reilly's, and part-time Cup Series, has qualified in with 2311 Racing. And it's good, dude. He's a great driver, and I think he's going to have a good future in NASCAR. I think he eventually, I think this year is going to see where he lines up in development wise with with the Cup and O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, see where he does best, and I guess next year from there they'll see where he goes. And we'll see what happens, dude. I don't think, like I was saying with Justin Allgaier, he's not going to be one of those guys running in the front. No, he's in a 2311 race car. That is that is a Cup Series team, but it's not going to be decked out in Cup Series attire. So I don't think he's going to get a win in it, honestly, or anything of that. But with that being said, we have the Daytona duels coming up tonight, and we're going to get some last chance qualification with some guys like BJ McLeod, Corey LaJoie, former Cup Series driver Casey Mears, and JJ Yelly. A lot of these guys, they've tried to run it before. Obviously, we've heard of BJ McLeod and JJ Yelly, Corey LaJoie, but these guys got one or two spots to fight for tonight. I think Casey Mears is going to get one of the spots, and Corey LaJoie. JJ Yelly and BJ McLeod, they're pretty much self-funded guys, so they're long shots. And it'd be great to see, it'd be really awesome to see these self-funded guys get a spot into the Daytona 500. But it's just very unlikely because they're going into debt every year they do this unless they get sponsorships. And from what I can tell now, I think BJ McLeod car is still just a pitch black car with a white 76 on it. So he's doing this for the love of the game, going in debt, wasting money. But that's what you got to do if you want to succeed in motorsports. You got to take them risks. So maybe we'll see him get in. He's failed to qualify these past 2 years, but that doesn't mean anything. It's a new year. He definitely has some friends that are helping him around in some drafting, as such as a track as Daytona. But like if he qualifies, he's not going to be one of the guys up there. I think, I would love to see him get one of those other spots in too. But honestly, in my opinion, it's going to be Casey Mears and Corey LaJoie. But, Jimmy Johnson, he's already locked himself in. He had a provisionary because, he's obviously a 7-time Cup Series champion. And he owns that Legacy. He owns part owner at Legacy Motorsports. But, he's it's going to be a great race, dude. And with that being said, I think another great race we are going to have to watch out for is the Truck Series race at Daytona with, Travis Pastrana, Tony Stewart, Corey Heim, and all these other great drivers in the Truck Series, dude. So it's just going to be a great motorsports weekend in general. And with the duels tonight, we're going to see where people qualify. So there will be 2 heat races, the Heat A, Heat B. So how that works is they're going to essentially work on wherever you finish in Heat A is where you'll qualify on the inside, and wherever you finish in Heat B is where you'll finish on the outside. Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe are already locked into this spot, so that's not anything they're really going to have to worry about. They're already finishing qualifying 1 and 2, but it's those other guys who are going to have to qualify for where they're at in this race. This is the only NASCAR race that does this. They try to make it special since Daytona 500, and yeah, it's great. It's just it's cool to see different stuff. Like, I'm sure F1 fans and other motorsport fans are like, what in the hell? But it's, oval racing's different, dude. This is drag. Like, you got to draft pretty much the whole time you're doing this. So it's different. But, yeah, let's get into my predictions, okay? So, obviously, I think Casey Mears and Corey LaJoie will be those 2 guys who qualify for the race. But, for the Truck Series, I got Tony Stewart winning, dude. He is a multiple-time Cup Series champion, just a champion in anything he can drive, dude. This is his first truck race in I think 20 years, maybe 2005 was his last one. But I truly believe that he can be the guy to do it, and especially in a Dodge, dude. Like, come on now, first race back in a Dodge, and he's the guy who comes back and wins it for him at Daytona 500. Yes, it's a long shot. Yes, it sounds wild, but motorsports and NASCAR is wild, dude. So why not make a wild prediction? I think Tony Stewart can do it just based off skill alone. So, it's been a while. He's been rocking the NHRA drag racing, going just straight, not turning left anymore. But, we'll see what happens there, dude. I hope he can pull something good off. Dude, 9 lap race. But yeah, coming in with the Xfinity series. Well, now the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, I got Austin Hill. Austin Hill is a great driver, dude. He's very aggressive. I think that's what makes people really, not like him. But dude, when Dale Earnhardt was doing it, was it such a bad thing? Y'all like it when they, you come on, dude. Y'all can't sit there and hate something that y'all say y'all missed just because it's not Dale. Like guys like Carson Hocevar, Austin Hill, even Kyle Busch, dude. And I hate Joey Logano, but yeah, Joey Logano too. They race aggressive, dude. And like if they were breaking the rules, they'd be penalized, bro. They'd be penalized, and they do not get penalized for what they do. It's just racing. Rubbing is racing in NASCAR, and that's something y'all got to realize. And yeah, I think Austin Hill's going to be that guy to do it. If he races how he traditionally races, if he races aggressive, if he races hard, and if he races smart, yeah, I think he will be. I think he will do great. I think he will be in the top. And if not, I think Jesse Love. Jesse Love has been coming in a lot to prove, dude. This dude went too low, but guess what? I took his inside. But yeah, Jesse Love, he has a lot to prove. People think he shouldn't have been the champion last season, and he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder for real. He didn't get it called up to the Cup Series like par, uh, his championship rival Carter Zillich. So I think he's coming in here with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to prove more, wanting to prove that he can do more, and wanting to prove that his championship wasn't a fluke, even though kind of was a fluke. He shouldn't have won that. But yeah. With that being said, let's get into my top 5 predictions for the Cup Series race, the Daytona 500. Now, Daytona is a wild race, so I have wild predictions to back it. It's not going to be finishing, there's not going to be no clean finish, dude. There's always going to be wrecks, cautions, fuel drama, tire drama, and yada, 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 all types of stuff. It's a 3 or 4 hour race, dude. So, like, anything can happen. And that being said, in my 5th position, I got Bubba Wallace. He's been growing more and more consistent. And I think this is truly going to make him one of the guys to watch. I don't think he's going to get off there just like, off scotch free, dude. There's going to be some wrecks to help him get up there. Kind of like how these guys are wrecking me, dude. And I should have winning the race. But yeah, he's not going to get off scotch free, dude. He's going to get up there with some. He's going to get up there with some wrecks. He's going to get up there with some just some crazy stuff happening at the end, dude. This dude is insane, bro. Yeah, that's racing, bro. Uh, yeah, and then that number 4, I got Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch in that 4th spot. He's coming off a P1 qualification. He's gonna hopefully, do good in the race, better than I did here. Not deal with wrecking and crap by that one car. But yeah, so I got him coming P4, getting back up in the top of the field. Um, yeah, so we'll see him up there in P4. And then number 3, I got Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is one of the most consistent drivers in NASCAR. He always does good just around the circuits. And I think, 3rd place, that's a good little finish for him. I feel like this season format is going to definitely be one for him definitely because he's always consistent, dude. Uh, so yeah, we'll definitely see Chase Elliott getting that P3, and then in P2, I got his teammate Kyle Larson. Hendrick's cars, they always finish up close together. They finishing pretty close. It's either William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. And then in the back of the field, we'll get we'll get Alex Bowman. But so yeah, we'll hopefully have a good race. And I'm gonna surprise y'all with my last pick here. But yeah, Hendrick's cars, they always do good at Daytona, and if Chevrolet's rocking good, like with how they have Kyle Busch up at the front of the field after just how much he's been struggling the past few years, I think it's going to be a very successful weekend for a Chevrolet, especially after winning the past 2 Daytona 500s with William Byron. I think this is going to be a great weekend for Hendrick Motorsports and Chevrolet in general. And with that being said, I have another Chevrolet who is not Hendrick Motorsports walking at the front of the field, and that is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a former Daytona 500 winner. He's won a couple of years ago. I think he can do it again. I think that he's one of those guys you have to watch at these super speedways, and I think he does good at Daytona, Talladega. He does good at Charlotte. So I think that he can be one of the guys to watch. And like I said, Daytona is a chaotic place. It has to be chaotic to win. Like Michael McDowell, when he won a few years ago, it was off a wreck, and nobody expected him to win. Jamie McMurray, he's one of those guys that you don't expect to win, and he won. So like it's not just like based off skill, dude. Like anybody at any given moment can win. You could be in the back of the field and the front two cars wreck, and then boom, you're the winner. But yeah, I think that Corey LaJoy will qualify, but I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will be the winner. It's just going to be a great weekend for Chevrolet across the board. And yeah, that's why I got two Chevrolets qualifying with Casey Mears and Corey LaJoy into the Daytona 500 rather than these other Toyotas and Fords. And dude, these dudes just wreck. But that's what makes the game fun. But thought that was it. But yeah, Corey LaJoy, Casey Mears, guys who are going to qualify, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I got for my winner. So that it's going to be a great weekend. I hope y'all can stick around for what I'm going to try to do a live reaction to the Daytona 500. If I don't get around to it, I'll definitely be making a video with my reactions right after. So yeah, I appreciate y'all sticking around, and yeah, it's been a fun little video. But before I go, I also want to just talk about this for a minute, like the seasons I plan on running. So as y'all can see, it's a very chaotic game. People wreck, people are dirty, the game's laggy. It's stressful. I was getting stressful playing throughout the game, throughout this video, talking and stuff. It's kind of hard to talk and deal with people wrecking you when you're in first place. But yeah, that being said, I really hope that we can get some seasons going on here and do something fun with it. Uh, the Especially with NASCAR 25 and iRacing. And yeah, just like I said, I'll comment below the YouTube video or the Instagram page for the league that I do with my friends on here. And I'll also comment the MCM Motorsports Instagram handle that I just recently created. So I appreciate y'all sticking around now, and I'm finally going to get going. But yeah, appreciate it. And I hope y'all come back again.